just in case. All right, I asked you guys to write me some questions, sort of like the Pensum C questions, for colloquium 4. And I don't know, did I ask you to do 5? 4? Okay, we probably don't have time to go around and do everybody's. If you guys want to give me, like if it's written on something that you can tear out, I would love to see them, but if it's not, it's okay. But let's go around and everybody give me one of your questions. We'll do at least one from everybody. And it will help us practice. We'll figure out if the endings are right. Please go for it. Don't feel bad if you put the wrong ending on something. Don't feel bad. Just go for it. And then we'll correct it. Christian, go for it. What's your first question? What is the first question? Okay, I am sorry. I was so unready for that. Can you say that more slowly? Quote numi sunt in sakulo. What was the last word? Oh, tuo. Tuo? Oh. Quod numi est bonum rogatum. Quod numi ego habeo nullus numus. Non saculus est vacuus. Meus saculus est vacuus. Quod numi an habes tu in saculo. Quod numi habes tu? Tres numi? Lucus. Quod numos habes tu? Tu habes quod numos. How much money do you have? Quod numos. Multos numos? Magnus numerus numi? Oh, bene. Centum. Oh, est magnus numerus numerum. Oh, valde. Christianus est dives. He's rich. Dives est. Bene rogatum. Gracia, fortasse, habes ne tu rogatum? What is your question? I'm sorry, cur? Oh, bonum rogatum. Cur dominus eratus est? Est bonum rogatum. Cur dominus est eratus?
Because he couldn't find medus.
Quia medus abest. Puellae. Tacete. Sigate. Medus abest, and medus sumit numos. Medus et numi absunt. Itaque dominus est eratus. Est bonum rogatum. Lucus, habes ne tu rogatum? What, do you have a question?
I think I forgot them.
Non est bene said. It's understandable.
You forgot your
Brina, habes ne tu rogatum?
Cursurus aldi improbus.
Cur cirus?
Sira.
Sira.
Aldit improbus.
Oh, audit improbus? Oh, yes, bene. We're not able to say improbus. Would someone else like to tell me just in English? What do you think that Brenna's asking?
Why is Sira hearing bad?
Why does she not hear well? This is exactly what I got from this. So why Sira hears in a bad way. However, we would say improbe. You don't know how to do this yet, but that's how to make it an adverb. But they'd probably say prawe is probably what they, but yes, cur sira non audit bene. Non audit bene.
Is she old? 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 Is she old
Fortasse senex est, quoque aures sunt mali. She's bad ears. Fortasse est senex. Sometimes when we are older, we don't hear as well. It could be. It could be. Anna, habes ne tu rogatum? Est bona rogata. Cur medus abest. Est bonum rogatum. Cur. Medus abest, cur.
Is his in English?
Oh, yeah.
Because he stole the money from the sack.
Quia medus est fur. Fur is a thief. Medus est fur. Medus sumit nomos. Quoque medus videt baculum. Baculum in mensa. Dominus verberat improbo servos cum baculo. Itaque medus timet. Medus timet. Itaque abest. Est bonum rogatum. Amelia, habest ne tu rogatum?
It's very, very simple.
Oh, it's fine. I'm sorry, say it again.
Quid significat
Est bonum rogatum. Quid significat numos. Numos like this? How did you spell it? Numus? Yes, bene. Quid significat? Quid significat numus? In Anglice, in English, because we can't really say what it. Quid significat? Quid significat? Quid significat? What does quid significat mean? What does it mean? Quid significat numus? Quid est num? Est money. Est coin, probably, instead of like dollar bills. Pecunia est numi, est quoque papyrus, paper money. Right. Est bonum rogatum. Bene. All right. Julia.
This one's a really simple.
Julia cantat. La la.
Packet.
Quid significat? No, est bonum. Quid significat? Tacet. Quid significat?
Be quiet.
Bene. Sunt bona rogata. Omnia rogata sunt bona. Very good. You know what? I'm not going to go around again just because it's already 10 after, and you know what I mean. If you want to give me your questions you wrote, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's fine. All right. It doesn't hurt that you wrote some that we didn't go to get over together. I would like to. First of all, we're going to do the new chapter. Something new is going to happen, but it's not very hard. I mean, the new things are not very hard. But I want to show you some of the new things. But first, I'd like to just. We're going to play the game of what is the ending. What ending goes here? But first, let's put the endings on the board so that, we have choices and we can look at them. We have learned so far that the nominative endings, that's when it's the subject, are divided in singular and plural, right? And they have a masculine, a feminine, and a neuter in each one. And our endings are us, a, if it's singular, and e, I, if it's plural. Then we've learned the genitive case. This is possessive. And we have e, I, e, aurum, aurum, aurum. Bene? We're all good so far? We have accusative endings, and they're direct objects, right? And we have et os, as, a. That is what we have learned so far. I'm not going to stick up there our eum, eam, cuius, cui, all of those, okay? But let me see if you guys can figure out what endings would go where. Let's pick a sentence from, I don't like any of these sentences. So I'm going to have to make up my own sentence. Julius med woke up. What do you think goes in the blank? Why do you think that?
Because it's masculine and it's the thing that's having something done to it.
And it's perfect. How do you know it can't be the subject? How do we know Meadows isn't the one maybe doing the calling? Because we already got a subject. Julius has the ending. But if I gave you this, Julium med vocat, what would you do differently? What, say it? US, medus. Because we don't have a subject. We have a direct object, but we don't have a subject. Does that make sense to everybody? Let's try another one. Julius est dominus med. Let's use med again. What do you think? I know I'm standing kind of in the way, aren't I? And then you can't see the endings. What do you think might be going on with medus in this sentence? Julius est dominus. Brina, Anna, ignoscite mihi. Cur. Est verum. Okay, see, she just did process of elimination is what she said. Let's follow her process of elimination. Julius est dominus. Julius is the master. Okay, it's already a complete sentence. It's got a subject. Isn't the sort of verb that you do to someone. You don't is someone. So it doesn't have a direct object. And hello, you've only learned 3 different groups. If it's not the subject and it can't have a direct object, it's sort of process of elimination. And the only thing that makes sense, Bryn, then how would you say this sentence in English for me?
Julius is the master of medus.
Of medus. Julius is the master of medus. Julius is medus's master. We could say it that way too. Does that make sense? Nothing's happening to medus. Medus isn't the master. He's not the subject. It must mean he's medus's master. And so we go to genitive, and is medus a boy, a girl, or a thing? He's a boy, and is there more than one of them? No, so we have singular, and it's medi. Does everybody follow the process? Okay, the more you run into these as we read, the easier it's going to get, you know? But as long as you follow the process. Okay, in the last 3 weeks, we've also learned some commands, right? I will give you some commands, but don't do it loudly. Christianus, sume librum, sume librum. Bene, sume librum, est librum. No, non tum librum. Non libri omniorum discipulorum. Tum librum. Bene, et Amelia. Voca Juliam. Oh, that's bene. I told you not to do it loudly. Julia. Voca. Julia. Es bene. Anna. Take. Bene. Dik means you can talk. Lucas. Canta. Bene, that's bene. Gracia. I don't think you've learned this, but I'll. Surge. Bene, sede. Bene. Et brina. What else have you learned? Pone stilum. Stilum est? Pone stilum. Pone stilum in mensa. Bene. Sume. Bene. At Julia, is Julia the only one that hasn't had a turn? I got to look in the book to find out what verbs you know.
I know.
Numera discípulos. Numera. I will help you. Numera. Unus, duo, tres. Okay. Unus, duo, tres, quator, quinque, sex, septem. Et prestum est octo. Prestum abest.
There's another one. Discetti.
Discetti. Discetti. No, discedite. Hodie, today, discemus, we will learn how to give a command to more than one person. And this is super, I've got something to help you remember this. And you may already know it, and you don't even know you do it. Are you guys familiar with the Christmas carol, O Come All Ye Faithful? Okay, we all know this song. Do any of you know it in Latin? Sometimes it's sung in the Adeste fideles, laeti triumphantes venite. Okay, so I'm not going to do the whole thing. I didn't give you the whole thing, I only gave you the chorus, right? The chorus, O come, let us adore him. O come, let us adore him. O come, let us adore him. Christ the Lord, right? Come. It's a command. Come, let us adore him. But do they just want one person to adore him? Oh, no, they want everybody to adore him. So it's a command to lots of people. Venite adoremus. You don't know the adoremus for let us adore him? Venite. A command to one person looks like this. Boca. Vide. I could have said vide. Vide stilum. At pone, at veni. Right? So I'm telling someone to call, I'm telling someone to look, I'm telling someone to put, and I'm telling someone to come. This is really easy. If you want to make it more than one person, vocate. I just had a TE. Videte. Venite. And there's our venite. Adoremus. This one's a little weird. There's some of them where the E turns into an I. Don't worry about that too much right now. The important thing is when you see a verb with the TE ending, it's a command to more than one person. Venite adoremus. Oh, come. So if you can remember, I actually gave you the whole first verse. I put it in Latin for you. So you could have it, and maybe you could work on learning it, and then you can just sing it all around Christmas time, because we have plenty of time to learn it between now and Christmas. Adeste fidelis is the song in Latin, and adeste is adest. Adsunt, adest. You already know this verb too. Adeste. So literally, think about this, guys. Are you with me, Julia? Venite adoremus. Come, all of you, come, But adeste, what does ad est mean? Medus ad est. What does that mean? Abest is like absent. If you think of the word absent. Abest, not here. Preston abest. Christianus ad est. Quid significat ad est? He's here. Literally, be here. It's actually a command. It doesn't say, because we say, "O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumph." In Latin, it's not, "O come." It is in the chorus. It says, "Be here." Be here, all you faithful, fideles. It's the same verb that you already know. So see, you have already learned some words. Hey, look at the, don't put it away yet. Look at the, adeste fidelis, laeti triumphantes, laeti. Oh, laetus. Julia laeta est, et diende Marcus pulsat eam, et non est laeta. Plorat. Plorat. So, oh, be here, you faithful, happy, laeti, and triumphant. Venite in Bethlehem. That's easy enough. Natum videte. Videte. Look at the King, King Angelorum. King of what?
King of heaven.
Angel. Angelus.
Angels.
Angelorum. You know some of these words already in the forms. You can, and natum is born. So, O come, or be here, you faithful, joyful, triumphant. Come in Bethlehem. Come, behold, videte, him, natum, born, regum, king, angelorum, of the angels. Right? So you could work on learning that. You all know the tune, if you want to. But it tells us something that we are learning in this chapter, like I said, and that is how to give a command to more than one person. Does that make sense to everybody? Does everybody understand what I mean, give a command? So I could say, Lucus surge, bene, sede. Or I could give a command, discipuli, surgite, surgite. Bene. Sedete. See, that's the difference. I tell one person to do it, I tell other people to do it. Now, here's what I want to do with our time. I want to actually open up chapter 5, and we're just going to start looking at it, and we're just going to go through like one sentence at a time, and it's going to give you power to read this week, a little power. We're also going to meet a new thing right towards the beginning, but don't worry, do not fear, because I have the handy-dandy endings, and I have vocabulary list and everything for you, okay, for chapter 5. But everybody, let's turn, let's make sure I'm kind of, okay, I think we're good. Let's turn to chapter 5, and it is on page 32. Bene. Duo et treginta. 32. Duo et treginta. Est villa. Villa est domus. Julius et Aemilia et liberi habitant in villa. Villa est domus. In pictura est villa. Villa. Villa est non est in urbem, in oppidum. Non est in oppidum, est in the country. Villa. Est domus. Hortus est quo herbae crescunt. Exempli gratia, carrots and peas, and in hortus. Vos fortasse habetis hortum. Hortum. Maybe you grow tomatoes, carrots, and lettuce, and hortus, hortus. Quoque flores sunt in horto. In pictura est flos. Est flos, est rosa, est lilium. Sunt flores. In horto sunt flores. You can have vegetables in your garden. You can have flowers in your garden. I have a little bit of both, like together. Not now, though, because it's cold. Okay, so titulus est villa et hortus. Bene? Bene? Villa et hortus. Ecce. Vidite, ecce. Villa et hortus Julii. Non est villa en hortus Cornelii. Non sunt villa et hortus Medi. Sunt villa et hortus Julii. Julius in magna villa habitat. Non habitat in parva villa. Magna villa. Julius est dives pecuniosus. Habet multos numos. Iteque habet magnam villam. Non habet parvam villam. Oh, in that second sentence, it says he lives in, oh, what am I doing? In magna villa. Got any guesses about what that means? What do you think in means? It's not a trick question at all. It means in. Welcome to the easy street. In means in. Yay. Julius habitat in magna villa. Where does he live? He lives in a big house in magna villa. I'm going to leave that up there and talk about it in a minute, but not yet. Pater et mater et tres liberi in villa habitant. Habito. Is there an English word that habitat? So we kind of have a feel. Habito, live in, right? That's the habitat of an animal, right? Where they live. Julius et Aemilia et liberi habitant in villa. It's their habitat. Julius et Aemilia tres liberos habent. Habent duos filios et unam filiam. Non duas filias. Duo filii sunt Marcus et Quintus. Quae est filia? Quae est filia? Julia est filia. Bene, bene. Et Julius et Aemilia et Marcus et Quintus Julia habitant in villa. Bene. In villa multi servi habitant. Quod servi sunt in villa Julii? Centum servi habitant in villa. Oh, est magna villa. Centum et quinque habitant in villa. Est magna villa. Dominus eorum est Julius. Dominus eorum est Dominus servorum. Dominus servorum est Julius. Does anybody remember what eorum, like the all those eus, eorum, earum, think that sentence is telling us? Dominus eorum est Julius. It is Dominus servorum est Julius. What do you think we're supposed to get out of that? How about if I take away the word? Dominus est Julius. Master's Julius. Dominus servorum. Let me take away eorum. The master of the slaves. There's 100 of them. But what if I don't want to say the master of the slaves? Dominus eorum. The master of, well, except servorum. What do we use when we don't want to have to say the noun over and over again?
Master of them.
Yeah, the master of them, their master. Does that make sense to everybody? And, you know, if we weren't sure, it's kind of easy because it's got the orum ending. It's got the same orum ending. It's like, okay, it's not servorum, it's eorum. Okay, there, the master of them, est Julius. Is est Julius. Julius est, oh, I'm sorry, ignosce mihi. Is multos servos habet. It est Julius multos servos habet. Is est he. Is Julius habet multos servos. Est certum, habet centum servos. Ancillae quoque multae in villa habitant. Ancillae habitant in villa. Servi habitant in villa. Familia habitat in villa. Domino earum est Aemilia. Aemilia est domina ancillarum est. Ea est Aemilia, multas ancillas habet. Okay, bene. This is nothing we didn't already know, right? Dominus Julius habet multos servos. Domina Aemilia habet multas ancillas. Bene, bene. Novimus. At Julius in villa sua habitat cum magna familia, cum magna familia. Quid est cum magna familia? Quid est? Let us look at the sentence again. Julius habitat in villa. Bene? Julius habitat in villa sua, in his own house, cum magna familia. Julius habitat in villa. Et servi habitant in villa. Et liberi habitant in villa. Et ancillae habitant in villa. Omnes habitant in villa. Julius habitat in villa cum magna familia. If you have no idea, it's fine, but do you have a guess? He lives there with, beautiful, Luke, well done. With, who means with? How did you know, Luke? It just sounded like it's right? They live there, they live there, they live there. Julius lives there with all these people. Hey, Preston. Julius lives there with all these people. Esta. Bene. Let me see what time. Oh, let's keep going. Pater et mater habitant cum Marco et Quinto et Julia. I'm going to write that sentence on the board. Pater et mater habitant cum Marco et Quinto et Julia. Bene. Pater et mater sunt Julius et Aemilia. Habitant in villa. In villa. Cum Marco, et Quinto, et Julia. This is a good place. We'll stop here and take a look at these because we have two examples now. What do we call in English constructions like with his family, in the house, on the table, under the ground, over the rainbow? What do we call those? We do not, because they don't have a subject or a verb. They can't be sentences.
I can't remember now.
What do we call those little words? Maybe if you know what we call the little words, you'll think of what we call the whole thing. I always like to think of this type of word as a mouse and some cheese, and think of all the places the mouse could be like relative to the cheese. On the cheese, in the cheese, over the cheese, through the cheese, around the cheese, with the cheese, yeah. Inside the cheese, to the cheese, from the cheese. What do we call those little words? In, on, at, with. Prepositions. Well done. Prepositions. And when we put one with a noun, and some other words maybe, we have something that we call a prepositional phrase. I knew you knew. I knew it. In magna villa. Prepositional phrase. In the big house. Cum magna familia, with a big family. Cum Marco et Quinto et Julia. They live in the villa with Marcus et Quintus et Julia. It can have more than one thing in the prepositional phrase. Like I went. I'm trying to think of. We are learning Latin with Christian and Grace and Luke and Preston and Anne and Brandon and Amelia and Julia. I got you guys backwards. You could have a lot of objects of the preposition, right? But it's all one prepositional phrase. This is prepositional phrases in Latin, and I have some maybe unfortunate news to tell you. I don't know. We have a new set of endings. See, Grace is like, oh, no. Grace is like, I get to learn some new endings. They are called, and by the way, I'm about to give you a sheet that has these on it. So, you'll have it. But they're called the ablative. I'm going to write the whole thing. And for right now, you can think of them as being a prepositional phrase. Okay? So in other words, if I have a preposition like in, the thing it's in will be in this case. Or if I have a preposition like with, the thing it's with will be in this case. The thing I gave you earlier breaks that rule, and I will explain why. And here are the ablative endings. O, here, I'm just going to draw a line here because I wrote this too. A, O, is. Yay, look at this. All the plurals are the same. Oh, I'm so happy. Don't say I never did nothing for ya, right? You're welcome. But these, as we might expect, the masculine and the neuter end up the same. Now, I don't know if you've noticed that in your book, some vowels have little lines over them. And eventually when you learn Latin, you have to learn the lines. But I'm only asking you to learn certain lines, okay? This is one of those lines. Because you see, if I don't have the line, for example, what's the difference between these two words? Yes, this one is the subject of the sentence. This is part of a prepositional phrase. This one's ablative, and this one's nominative. Do you see? So this little line is important. There are many important ones, and eventually, like if you become a Latin scholar and you're reading Latin poetry, you need to learn the little lines over the letters. But for you guys, I'm going to ask you just learn a few of them, but this is one of them. Because without it, you can't tell the difference between these two words, right? So let's see what we have. We have this one used, magna vila. Do you see how I put the little line over? In vila. Because they're part of a prepositional phrase. This one's kind of weird. I put the Julia there. Marco et Quinto, they're boys. So their prepositional phrase ending is Marco, Quinto. Now, do I expect you to have that memorized already? No. Do you understand what I mean, though? That's the important thing. Does everybody understand what I mean by prepositional phrase? No. Okay. In, with, and then we don't usually just say the word with. It usually comes with some, well, who are you with? What are you with? We don't just say in. Sometimes we do, go in. But usually we say, if I just come to you and say, well, Amelia is in. Is in what? Is she in trouble? Is she in, Easy Street? Is she in, I don't know. So that's what I mean by prepositional phrase. And if it's part of a prepositional phrase, these are the endings we're going to use. So, Julius habitant in villa. Cum. I want to say he lives with the servants, but I want them to be a lot of them. He doesn't just live with one servant. What ending should I put if he lives with a lot of them? Yes, servis, with slaves. Guess what? With ankilis, it doesn't matter if they're feminine or masculine because it's all the same ending. Mm-hmm. Cum liberis, with his children. It's all the same ending for plural. And we only have two choices for singular, so it's not so bad. Let's look back in your book. Can everybody keep your spot? But everybody turn to the end of this chapter. Could you turn with me to page 39? And I don't know if you've noticed this. Look on the edge of your page, that margin. Do you see a long list of words? Super long list of words. Do you know that they give you the words that they introduce in each chapter here in a line? It doesn't help you if you don't know what they are, but by the time you read the chapter a few times, you do know. But I would like your eyes to go down until you find the word cum. It's after etiam, cum. And I'm just going to read several words. Cum sine ab ex. At the in is not here. I guess in is so easy because in means in. They didn't really give you the word in. But those four words, cum sine ab ex. Those are prepositions. Those are prepositions. They're always going to take the ablative. Now, I would like to stop at in capítulo, in the chapter, Rosai sunt in horto, Lilia sunt in horto, Julii. They're going to tell you the parts of the house. Right? And they even have a diagram with things numbered. But what I would like to do is look at no, I'm not going to look at that. I'm going to let you work through it, but because I have a page to give you anyway. We've got 5 more minutes. Let's read this chapter for 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to give you your sheet. And your job is to work your way through chapter 5 as many times as you can. Do it the first time with my video. Always, that's why I made those videos for you, because I stop and I talk about it, and sometimes I draw things on the board and I show you stuff, right? Just to help you work through it. And then here's your job. Watch my video, watch the other guy's video too. Read through as many times as you can. spend at least 30 or 45 minutes a day doing it. You have to write down anything, except if you hit a place and you say, I have no idea what's going on now. I don't know what they're talking about. And I want you to make a little mark, if you're allowed to mark in your book. I want you to stick a Post-it note in there and say, line whatever is a mystery to me. Can you do that for me? And then we'll target those. All right. Let's look at the place where we left off on page 32. And let's see if we can find any more prepositional phrases before we're done. We were on line 10. Does everybody see how there are numbers by the edges of the lines? Does everybody see that? Okay. I read to cum Marco et quintot Julia. Julius et Aemilia in villa habitant cum liberis et servis et ancilis. It est servi et ancilae et liberi habitant in villa. Est bene. Villa Julii in magno horto est. Hortus est quo herbae, plants, sunt. In Italia sunt multae villae cum magnis hortis. Oh, bene, bene. In Italia sunt multae villae. Magnus numerus villarum in Italia. Et villae habent hortos. Multi horti sunt in Italia. Romani amant hortos. Oh, hortus est bonus. Romani amant. Oh. Amo hortum. They love their gardens. Villae, multae villae habent hortos. In hortis sunt rosae et lilia. Julius multas rosas habet. Oh, et multa lilia. In horto suo habet. Julius habet multas rosas. Non unam rosam. Habet multas rosas in horto. Quoque habet multa lilia in horto. Hortus est pulcher. It's beautiful. It's pulcher. Are we still with me? Okay. I will finish this paragraph, and then I will give you your sheet, okay? Hortus Julii pulcher est. Oh, est pulcher. Hic est pulcher. Quia in eo, in horto, sunt multae et pulchrae rosae liliaque. Liliaque. Quid significat que? Liliaque. Quid est rosae liliaque? Quid est que? Nescio. Rosae liliaque sunt in horto. Quid est? Est rosae et lilia. Significat et. Rosae et lilia est rosa liliaque. Bene? That just means and, but it means an and before the thing it's attached to. Rosa liliaque est rosae et lilia. Bene. Et in horto Julii sunt multae rosae, sunt multa lilia. Hortus est pulcher. Est pulcher. Pulcher est. Bene? I have your sheets. Preston, I also have, I never got you the chapter 4 one. because I think I emailed it to you maybe and you printed it out, but I wanted to give it to you, with the vocabulary list and everything in the grammar. Also, we looked at Adeste Fidelis because it has commands to more than one person, and that's what we are learning, one of the things we're learning in this chapter. So you pass this down to Preston, and then I will have, for all of you, oopsie doops. You know what, no, I'll just pass it out and then we'll look at it together. Don't put it away. All right, when I give it to you, don't put it away. And if you're not in my Latin class, don't take one. Or in this Latin class, as the case may be. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hit all the way down to Preston. Boom. I have 3. And then let me look at it with you, okay? I do not expect you to study these, although you should read through it. This is not your study sheet, although eventually you will learn everything that's on these sheets. You won't be able to help yourself. But this is for reference, okay? So in the back of your packet there, you've got notes, right? It has the line number and it helps you. If you get stuck, like, I just don't know what that means. It's there. It has a list of the words, the new words. However, remember at the beginning of class when Luke figured out what cum meant just from the sentence? Like, Julius lives in a house, cum magna familia. Well, he lives with them. It must be with. If you can do that, do it. Don't use the crutches unless you have to. But there's no shame in using a crutch, right? If you need it. But here's what's on the grammar part. At the top it says accusative plural of first and second declensions. I'm not sure why they have that there because we've been using this. This is not new. It's these. We've been doing that. Okay, skip down. Ablative plural of first and second declension nouns. Well, yay, how lucky for us. Ablative plural is super duper easy. It's the same ending. Third person plural of verbs, we've been using this, right? Julia wokat at. Julia et Marcus et Quintus wokant. We've been doing that. I don't know why they think this is new, because it's not. We have Isaiah id. At the bottom of the second page is our lovely commands to more than one person. Woka wokate, take takete, sume sumite, weni wenite. All right? And we have how to decline pulcher. The things that are important here is the ablative endings in the commands. And everything else will soak in. All right? Don't lose these. And it's good if you bring them with you because I might want to refer to it next week, you know. But that's it. Work your way through chapter 5 to the best of your ability. Start with my video where I stop and I explain things kind of like I do in class. We will press on next week. And I don't just spend at least half an hour a day working through it and jot down anything that they lost me. I have no idea what's happening in this story. The whole thing isn't a story. You know, we're going to take the tour of the house. And then, much to Christian's delight, there's going to be more drama in the family. Somebody is going to get pushed in the water. Yeah.